immediately. However, over time, eating bananas might make it more difficult to move and cause more pain. Consider the fruits on your plate. If you frequently experience heavy, aching, or sore legs, bananas may not be as amiable as they first appear. What if something even smaller can achieve this? Bananas are known for supporting muscles, small, shortening, and nerve locking. However, it can be causing your joints to burn. Let's discuss crabs. The third fruit, crabs. Little fruit, significant inflammatory effect. Crabs. They appear naive, tiny, juicy, simple to eat as a snack. They also have a stellar reputation, heart healthy, packed with antioxidants. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Elderly people may have mild leg pain, stiffness, and inflammation when they eat crabs. Why? Because crabs contain fructose, a substance that can be harmful in high concentrations, a sugar that is directly absorbed by the liver and it becomes fat and uric acid when your liver is unable to handle it completely. The actual harm begins then, particularly in the toes, ankles, and knees. Uric acid accumulates in the joints. It causes an intermittent burning and swelling ache. That nagging pain that makes even light walking difficult. Have you ever had that piercing pain in your big toe at night? That unexpected stiffness in your calves? It may be something as minor as a handful of crabs causing your uric acid to rise. Furthermore, it doesn't end there. Your body's chronic inflammation is also fueled by fructose. This entails slower movement, increased pressure, and stiffness. Crabs are also photosynbuilt or friendled. They are small enough to nibble onto. They're not hefty. Before you realize it though, you've consumed 2 or 3 cups. Additionally, the sugar quickly accumulates. Therefore, even while crabs could appear like a nutritious snack, they may subtly wake, reduce the flexibility, and make your legs less comfortable as you age. You know what can be hidden behind that sweetness. If you've been eating crabs on a regular basis and have been experiencing increasing stiffness and swelling, however, there are other delicious fruits that can be harmful besides crabs. Another is luscious, vibrant, and renowned for its ability to hydrate. Don't be duped, though. On the inside, it functions like sugar, even though it tastes like water. Let's discuss watermelon. The fourth fruit is watermelon, the baucus hydrator. Watermelon, light, revitalizing, a representation of hydration and summer. Is it possible that this watery fruit is subtly damaging your legs? Isn't that odd? Since everyone agrees that watermelon is a good way to stay hydrated, it feels safe, has few calories, and is primarily water. Here's the secret, though. The glycemic index is extremely high for watermelon. This indicates that it quickly raises blood sugar levels, much like candy. Additionally, seniors suffer significant harm from those frequent sugar spikes, particularly to their legs. Let's dissect it. Your body releases insulin when your blood sugar levels rise rapidly. However, insulin is poorly regulated in aging bodies. Inflammation results from this, particularly in places with inadequate circulation. Where does it appear? Your calf, your ankles, your knees. Leg tiredness may occur immediately after eating. Dull discomfort when taking quick strolls. That weird persistent swelling around your ankles. Stir climbing begins to resemble ascending a mountain. Watermelon has a light texture. On the inside, though, it acts like a charming trap, gently wearing down your legs. Most people eat a lot of it since it's juicy and refreshing. a single slice becomes 2 then 3. Add more sugar, more stress, increased inflammation. It's misleading. You believe you're drinking water. Your blood sugar is spiking instead. Your circulation is having trouble. Your legs are suffering as a result. Does watermelon actually help seniors stay hydrated? Or does each math falsely increase the discomfort of movement? It could be time to reconsider. If the watermelon on your blood is erratic and your legs have been feeling more exhausted lately, let's move on to a fruit that is associated with vitamin C and health. Juices, immunity-boosting drinks, and breakfast all included. Seniors, however, may experience an acidic attack on their joints. Let's discuss oranges. Oranges are the fifth fruit, the attack of acid on joints. Oranges, they're intelligent. They have a no scent. They're also all over the place, juices, health supplements, and breakfast platters. They are said to increase immunity because of vitamin C, however, oranges may be concerning an unpleasant reality for elders, particularly those over 60. Acid, which your joints dislike, is what's behind that status quo. Citrus is abundant in oranges. Even though that might seem normal, it can cause quiet joint irritation, particularly if your body is already battling inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis. When you wake up, you may experience a gradual stiffness in your knees, persistent hip pain, that uncomfortable sensation in your legs after prolonged sitting, decreased mobility, and increased swelling. You might assume it's simply aging. However, that healthy practice of drinking orange juice every morning can be contributing to the very pain you're attempting to prevent. This is what actually occurs. Orange's citric acid has effects beyond the stomach. It gets into your bloodstream and can exacerbate your joints' delicate tissues. Additionally, it causes blood sugar fluctuations when mixed with the fruit's natural sugar. And what's the result of that? Inflammation throughout the body. Every step seems a little heavier and more painful due to inflammation that spreads to your knees, ankles, and calves. You see, oranges may not be harmful to a younger individual. However, the effect develops subtly in an elderly person with aging joints and slower circulation. The most difficult aspect is that you're doing it with the belief that you're benefiting yourself. Since oranges have long been associated with wellness, however, you are now aware that they could not be good for your health. What comes next then? The following fruit has a tidy appearance. Green, crisp, and low in sugar. People believe it to be the safe option. However, it conceals something that can result in cramping during night, tight knees, and hurting hips. Now let's discuss green apples. Green apples, the sixth fruit, are a secret cause of lucky pain. They appear crisp, clean, and organic. Additionally, most individuals, especially seniors, believe they are the healthier option because they taste less sweet. It seems like a healthy low-sugar snack. However, most people are unaware of this. Green apples might subtly cause weariness, stiffness, and lucky pain. Malic acid and hidden natural sugar are the two things that pose a threat. First, let's discuss malic acid. Green apples get their sour flavor from this acid. Additionally, it can be unpleasant for aging digestion, even though it's great for youthful individuals. Our gut lining gets more sensitive with age. Additionally, malic acid can irritate tissues, including the joints, once it enters the body. After eating apples, some elderly people have severe hip or thigh pain. Others experience a mild heat in their feet or a tightness in their knees. It takes time to occur, but as time passes, the acid accumulates and the acne increases in frequency. Let's now discuss the sugar. Green apples still contain natural sugars even if they don't taste as sweet as red apples. Additionally, that sugar causes blood sugar fluctuations in elderly people with slower metabolisms. Your calves may be tired, your legs may cramp at night, you may experience stiffness in the morning, or you may feel weak when sending stairs. The most challenging aspect is that green apples are frequently consumed uncooked as a snack or even right before bed. As a result, the body is constantly affected by them. They appear very healthy and pure. However, green apples may be subtly making it harder to walk, stiffening the joints, and making evening more restless for teaching bodies. What about a tropical, rich, and extremely sweet fruit that can have this effect if a fruit this basic can? The one most adored by many. Let's discuss the true sugar bomb, the mango. Mango, the seventh fruit, is a sugar explosion for your joints. Mango, juicy, soft, and candy. Nearly everyone liked this fruit, particularly during the summer months. Here's the truth, though. The mango may be the most harmful fruit for elderly people who have a joint weakness and leg pain. Why? Since it contains a lot of natural sugar. I don't mean a little either. I'm talking about a significant sugar bunch that will cause your blood sugar to rise sharply and quickly. Now, your body can often handle that rise if you're active and under 13. However, your metabolism changes after the age of 16. An insulin spike and subsequent crash are caused by that sugar rush. And each time this occurs, your body produces inflammation deep within your joints, particularly in the soft tissues surrounding your ankles, hips, and knees. Particularly if you have nerve problems, you can experience a burning sensation in your toes, a tingling sensation that won't go away, swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping heaviness in your legs. Because mango tastes light, feels fresh, and doesn't seem like a big meal, it is simple to consume in greater portions. But doing so makes it worse. That's the trick, though. The sensation of lightness is relevant to the body. The sugar causes it to react. Additionally, over time, that sugar may cause joint pain, sluggish walking, and unsteady legs. Many elderly people consume mangoes because they think they're a natural delight. It is natural, too. However, natural does not always equate to safety for weaker circulation and aging joints. You've seen the whole picture now. Despite being held for their health benefits, certain fruits have a negative aspect for the people over 16. Here's the code news, though. Some fruits have the opposite effect. They promote strong, sturdy legs, reduce joint pain, and combat inflammation. Next, let's discuss those, the therapeutic alternatives, and what elders should eat in its place. Let's move on to what you can eat now that you are aware of which fruits to avoid. Because eating the appropriate fruits does more than just satisfy your hunger. Your body is held by them. First, let's talk about berries. Blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, etc. These little fruits are potent anti-inflammatory agents. They are mild on your blood sugar, high in antioxidants, and low in sugar. Above all, they increase circulation, particularly in the legs. They promote easier mobility, combat stiffness, and less edema. Cherries next, but separately. In fact, cherries can help reduce uric acid, which reduces the likelihood of cut and joint pain flares. They relieve sore joints and the burning feeling in your knees or toes. A handful of cherries, not a bunch, can provide significant relief. The avocado comes next. It is a fruit indeed. It's also among the greatest for healthy joints. Why? Because it has a lot of good fats that reduce inflammation inside your body and cushion your joints. Additionally, it aids in insulin regulation, providing steady energy without blood sugar fluctuations. Are you trying to find something that is easy to digest? كيف ببيئه try? Enzymes found in this tender tropical fruit help reduce inflammation and facilitate digestion. It is easy on aging joints and mild on the stomach. Additionally, remember to eat pears with a small amount of fiber or protein. They provide a subtle sweetness without being overly sweet. They provide energy to your body without putting undue strain on your legs. Instead of working against your body, each of these fruits supports it. They don't cause discomfort. They don't make you swell. They help your body achieve the figure, equilibrium, and serenity at sex. It's not only about eating fruit, remember, it all comes down to picking the appropriate ones for your age. Fruits that are appropriate for your body right now. And you begin to sense it when you consciously make those decisions. Firmer steps, calmer motions, and clearer mornings. Let's conclude with some closing remarks, words of wisdom, and a message specifically for you. One thing informs me if you've read this far. You are concerned about your future, your strength, and your health. And I want you to clearly hear this. It's not too late for you to change. You still have time to recover. And you're not the only one who has this. Getting older is difficult. The pain, stiffness, and fear of falling come gradually. Additionally, they can occasionally give you the impression that your body is vanishing. Here's the reality, though. You may take charge by making sensible, modest adjustments rather than taking extreme measures. One meal, one fruit, and one decision at a time. Although the fruits we discussed today aren't harmful, they might no longer be the best for your health. And that's all right, because growing older doesn't mean giving up. It's about being more intelligent. You'll notice a difference when you start eating mindfully and select meals that promote strength, circulation, and joints. Less discomfort, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter steps. That's the point of this clarity, not fear or limitation. I'd like to hear from you now. Tell us what you learned today and what change you're prepared to make in the comment section below. Since we all grow when we share, let's help one another. Please hit the like button if this video was helpful to you or if it even slightly opened your ears. Click subscribe to ensure you don't overlook any information that could alter your health. Turn on the bell. Before you leave, please input 1 if this video was useful. If not, type 0. You may not realize how important your comment is. Remain resilient and observant and never forget that your independence is carried by your legs.